Gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. I hope you are all having a great day. And today we'll be speaking on the second episode of this podcast, which is why are Nigerians queuing to vote? Yes, why is there long queue? What's going on, really? Right? And what voters' registration is revealing about the citizenship in Nigeria. So I'll just start off by saying and acknowledging and thanking every Nigerian citizen who has been going to the INEC office to either register for your voter's card as a first time voter. Maybe you misplaced your card and you're going to re register, or you're transferring your voter's registration. Thank you so much for doing that. It feels like a Herculean task when you think about the hours you have to wait, the incommunication from the staff and members of the team, the selection, preferential treatment they give to certain class of people that show up at the polling at the offices where they are selected, taken inside, they do the capturing, do everything while you have been there before daybreak and nobody's attending to you. First off, please know that you are seen, you are heard, and I know it's hard. My goal is to encourage you today to please not give up. If you feel like giving up, please think about all the children that have been kidnapped. If you feel like giving up on the wait to get your capturing done, get your transfer documentation done, think about all the people that died on the road because of our poor roads and there were no emergency systems to take them to the hospital. If you feel like giving up, let me encourage you. Think about all the older ones who worked with the Nigerian civil service and in the attempt to get their pension, they died. Think about the price you have to pay for fuel. Think about the cost of living that has now increased to the point where the money you used to make compared to the same living lifestyle you have maintained no longer works. Not because you are not hardworking, not because you are not putting your best, but the math in the numbers for your money is not working. Think about the instability in power supply. Think about the amount, if you're a business owner, you have to spend on diesel to keep your business running. Let these things encourage you to not back down. What I know is if we keep mounting pressure and showing up in our numbers to their offices, they will see that we are serious. They will either expand their capabilities to suit the current demand, or we continue to make them trend. We continue to make this situation go viral. We continue to loud it so that the people that matter, the people in the right offices will understand what is going on. When we begin to do citizenship news reporting, where everybody is in a polling in an INEC office, making videos saying that I've been here for 10 hours, whatever hours you've spent, nobody's attending to me. By the time we put that and make their name trend, maybe there will be an expansion and something is going to happen that will give them the capacity to be able to handle the amount of Nigerian voters eligible that are showing up and that needs to be attended to. You are seen, dear Nigeria. Our voice, our patience, all of it is needed in this time. We can't give up. You know, there's this thing we say in Nigeria now, who give up, now lose. We know figure where we won't go. If all of us want to jack, which country we absorb 200 million people? Which country do we want to share ourselves that all of us will now move to? Where? Where are we going to go? So I want to encourage us, please. We have not started voting. All we are doing is just registration. Let's be patient. We've already been patient since 3 years ago. We've been patient till this point. It's okay. And I want to appeal to those that are in the universities. You think this work, this voting, you think is for adults that are working. You say it does not concern you. It doesn't matter. The vote, we say things like that. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't concern me. They've selected who they want to select. They have not selected who they want to select. Some of you in the university, you know what it's taking you to be able to go to school. When you want to read, there's no light for you to read. The fuel that you were using in that your I better pass my neighbor generator, you can no longer use it. You can't buy it again. So your life has changed. Those of you that are doing things you're not supposed to do, you're tired of doing it. So take that your tiredness. There are all of the things you are feeling match in your number to vote. If the website is not working, it's okay. Go there and tell them you want to do manual one. Let it be. You want to tell this story in the next 4 years, in 5 years, you will be able to explain the part that you played. Because they ask you a question, no? People of God, let me tell you something. If we think this process is hard, so we're not frustrated, we leave it alone. What if that is the intention? Have we ever sat down to think about it? What if that is the intention? So what do we do? By the time they understand and see that we are not ready to give up, yeah. Do you know how much it is to jackpot now? How much is dollar? How much is pounds? So what it would have cost you last year, is it the same amount it will cost you this year? If you jackpot, will you jackpot with your mother and your father and your siblings? I'm just saying, anybody can jackpot at any time. It's not even about jackpotting now. I'm saying if the people that you will now leave behind, those people that are in school, where do you want to you can already see those of you that have tried to go and do masters, you are finishing final year, you're considering, okay, maybe let me go and do one master. You are seeing the school fees. Where will you get? So when you look at all of these things, just make up your mind and say, look, let me just go and do the needful. We've already let's just leave it. We've passed the place of, again, I've said it. It's not as if we don't know the problems that are in Nigeria. We are not about to go and start rehashing all of those problems. That's not what we are doing. We know the problem. We have seen the problem. We are inside the problem together. All of us are here. So now the next step is we are going to take our voice, that is our voters card. We will march on election day. Thank you for your patience. We're just having a little bit of power issues again. Um, I was thinking about editing this part out, but I'm not going to edit it. You know why? If I edit it, it will look too polished. So I'm going to include it. The darkness and the reality of living in Nigeria. This is it. You are recording your podcast, and all of a sudden, the light just goes off. Bam! And you are praying to God that the diesel you have in your generator is going to be able to carry you. Thank God the light is back. For some people that don't have generator, they are going to be in darkness. So I'm just trying to explain. This is like real life. If I delete this scene in the editing of this video, it will look like all is well. It will look like maybe this person that is talking on this podcast, she's probably living somewhere where there's no all the things are working. That's why they are speaking English on the microphone. That's not what it is. I'm a Nigerian just like you. I face the same situations that you face. The only thing is that God is helping me, and now I have decided to use my own voice to do what? To cultivate civic intelligence so that we begin to become nation builders. Our nation will not be built by the government. The government can do what they can do, but this country will be built by me and you. Now, let me officially do my welcome. Welcome again to the For the Oaks of Africa podcast. I am your host, Temisan Ojabo, and at the For the Oaks of Africa podcast, we cultivate civic intelligence for nation building, nation builders. We believe that informed citizens build stronger nations, and we are committed to speaking to the conscience of the people through thoughtful conversations on governance, citizenship, public policy, and Africa's future. In our last episodes, we explored a couple of questions, right? Foundational questions. If you remember, we spoke about what democracy is. We talked about why we should need to protest. Even in the beginning of this podcast, highlighted that before the facts that are happening across Nigeria. If you've been watching the news, you would see the constant reportage of people staying at the voting INEC offices. The INEC is the independent. I would find the meaning and I would share in a bit, right? Just so that I don't make any error, right? So I the green body that ensures that um, they organize, regulate, and conduct elections in Nigeria. And what does INEC stand for? The Independent National Electoral Commission. The Independent National Electoral Commission. So we have been seeing across Nigeria that people will go to the INEC offices in some certain areas and it takes them hours before they get attended to. Some people they just sit there, nobody dressing them, everybody's just quiet. It looks like they're wasting them, right? And that's why at the beginning of this podcast, encouraging all the Nigerians that are waiting to be registered to see there, right? Men and women waking up early, going there, young and old, sick, people are frail. They are showing up, lining up, taking time off work. Students are leaving hostels. They are going. I've heard stories of students going in numbers, going to their neck office closest to them. Parents as well. Some with children, some with. I saw a video. Mothers like with small babies going there. They are lying. They are waiting for them to be attended to. Citizens are gathering at these registration centers and in INEC offices to register. Some are registering for the very first time. And kudos to everybody registering for the first time. You, you should be very proud of yourself. I'm so proud of you for going and registering for the first time. And they choose not to sit back but go there and register. Kudos. Happy for all job. Keep at it. No. But are we going to do it? Yes. Why? This is the only nation we have, right? So we're going to do our best to do our civic responsibility as citizens of this nation. I also heard of the people that are also trying to do the transfer. So they said, oh, you don't need to come to the office, you can do it online. And then they get to the point where they need to capture their photo. Even though those people stayed under well lit lights, the pictures refuse to upload. So if you now try to say, okay, it's not uploading, they will now give you the option of, do you want to go for capturing? You click on it, it works. Please, if you have been trying to upload your photo and it's not working, don't worry, don't bother. Just apply for capturing and show up there. So I tell people, oh, go there like 6 a.m., be the first set so that your name is, you know how it works now, you know how we roll. I know it seems absurd, but those that live here, if you want to go and get your driver's license, you know, if you live in cities that are heavily populated, you know how long it takes you. There's a place I'm supposed to go get my driver's license. I don't want to bore you all with the story. It's a long story. Very, very long story. We're still on it. So what am I saying? A lot of people are frustrated. Some are tired. Everybody's asking, why is this so difficult? Again, if you've done this before, right, you'll be wondering, why is this so difficult? What was interesting for me was that when I tried to do my last transfer, it was easier. I did the capturing from home. Everything went smoothly. I didn't need to go to any INEX office. The only thing I went to the INEC office to do was to go and pick up my card. Even at that, it was I didn't see it the first time. I had to follow up the people. It was a journey. It was a journey. So what I'm just encouraging us to say, see, you in the beginning, let us be encouraged. Please, as you go through this gruesome task of forgetting your cards, navigating the port lines, all of those things, I know some of us will be asking these questions. Does my vote even matter? It matters. If your vote does not matter, it will be easy to get these cards. It will be so easy to get this registration done. The reason they are making it harder, the reason it is becoming this way is because they cannot believe the turnout. It's a shock. We are shocking them. We should keep shocking them. And we beg them, please make this process simple. Make it easy for people to capture at home. Let us do the capturing. Please don't think that your vote does not matter. It matters. So people are saying, why should I bother? Bother. Because whatever you don't do or do now, the consequence of that decision is 4 to 8 years. Let me repeat that. The consequence of the decision you make now or don't make is 4 to 6, 8 years. 4 to 8 years. Again, 4 to 8 years. Whatever age you are at now, go and add 4 years or add 8 years and tell me if the inconvenience of a day or two or even a week can be compared to 4 to 8 years. This is the reality of whatever decision we make. If you say you will not take that voter's card because of how difficult the process is, the consequence of that decision is 4 years of a presidential term, of a governor's term, or 8 years of that person. I'm saying it again for emphasis. It is 4 to 8 years. Please be bothered. Please be bothered. Now, why are Nigerians still queuing? This is not the first time we're doing electronic verification. Should be like the second cycle or third. I think it's the second. I think based on my recollective memory, I would say this is the second phase that we are going through an election process using digital processes. Shouldn't the processes be finessed by now? Shouldn't this queuing, shouldn't there be a process that would have made this seamless after about 8 years? What does this reveal about our democracy? Right? Why are we still queuing to vote, to register? Not even vote, to register, because voting is still far. Voting is next year. I saw in the news they said it's There's a date in January. That's when we are going to vote of next year. That's about 6 months from now, right? What does this reveal? All of these bottlenecks and hardships in getting registration, what does it reveal about the future we were hoping to build, right? I want to mention something that these queues and these delays is bigger than the PVC. When you see those long lines, right? Some people see heat, they are tired, they will be hungry, the delays, the inefficiency, oh, the frustration, there's no network, the server is not working. Because even to get to book that appointment, I remember for a whole day it was saying server error, something, something, saying server error, something, something, the picture cannot be, nothing can be done. And then that one elapsed before I now tried again. All of this frustration. Some people said the website was down for about 6 days. All of these realities, I want us to look beyond the queues, the roadblocks. I want us to see beyond all of this. What we are witnessing is called participation. I dare say, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, we are experiencing a high level of participation from the citizens. That's why I said this is a huge plus for us as a people. We should be very proud of the work that we are doing. Very, very proud. We should be proud. Young people, 18-year-olds, 19, 20 upwards are showing up like never before. So this is something we should be proud of. It's a good indicator. So we are heading towards the place where it can almost be said that we are practicing healthy, there's a healthy participation. Are there bottlenecks? Yes. But are the citizens showing up? Yes. Can we do better? Absolutely yes. We are witnessing young people, old, middle age, older people, senior citizens deploying their time, resources, going out in their numbers, supporting the despite the frustration, despite all of the concerns, they still want their voice to be heard in the future elections. That is a solid process. That is a thing we need to be proud of. The queue is not just about obtaining votes. The queue is us seeing them as citizens. We are going to participate in democracy. Q is saying to them that we be. Q is we, a message to say we refuse to be completely absent in the way decisions are made in our country. We refuse absent in the way decisions that affect all of us is being made. Think about that for a minute. Many of these same people standing in the lines with, they're also experiencing hardships. Some people have lost their children, relative. See, I almost want to say, can we do a poll? How many people have lost a family member to kidnap? Oh. If you ask every Nigerian, I dare say you can find somebody who their cousin, their relative, somebody they know has either been kidnapped, been killed, something in Nigeria has happened to that family. Everybody has something they can tell you, a story they can tell you. You just need to ask them. So when you see us going to the polls, going to the INEC offices to register, we are not, it's not an actor. We're not being rebellious. That's not what we're doing. We're not stubborn. We are just participating in the nation that is in all that we have. Yes, there's low trust in the institutions. Of course, those are realities, but we are going to show up. We're going to show up. Now, this moves me to my next. Why do we need votes? Why do we need to vote? This seems like a very easy question, but it is a very deep question that I want us to go through for different. Some people vote because they want change. Either they want a change in the government, in the thing are done. Some people vote because they want stability. right? Economic stability. They believe that the person they are going to vote in is going to bring stability. Others vote because they care about specific issues to count for the people that's right. Other people vote because it's just their civic duty. As I've spoken on this podcast, they've listened to it and they're like, okay, I'm going to go and vote. I'm going to get my card. I'm going to register. I'm going to be an active participator in this nation. Some people just want their voice to be heard. Other people, they believe that participation matters even when the outcome is uncertain. So for them, it is not about who wins or who loses, but they are going to participate. And this last point is the important point. Patient as even when the outcome is uncertain. You see, there was something I said in the last podcast. I said that we already know the issues that surround our dear nation. We understand it. It is clear. It is deeply clear the issues we face. We know it. I can't list it. I don't want to do that. Let's not waste each other's time highlighting what is wrong. We know all of the things that are wrong. An insight I would like to share. Most uncertain. To think that the institution was built so that you'll be setting on the exact outcome is not something that was promised. Democracy is built on participation. So, all of us who are showing up, going out there to register, what we are saying is, pending when the change will come, take the first step. What's the first step? Go out there and register. Regardless of the hurt we have faced as a nation, as a people, we will still go out there and register our names to get our PVs. We'll go and do transfer to get our PVCs. Not because the system is perfect. We're not expecting perfection. However, we will participate. Because I say this thing because many people think, right, that they refuse to vote because they cannot guarantee that outcome. So it's almost like being somebody that's controlling because they cannot determine the outcome. Because vote that system is a system where the outcomes are not fully guaranteed. They don't want to engage because in their mind, everything have a feasible outcome that you can understand. If I cannot understand the outcome, I shouldn't participate in that thing. That thing is bad. That thing is faulty. That thing is safe. But again, participation is not about controlling outcomes. Participation is about fulfilling our responsibility as citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That was why at the beginning of this podcast, season 1, I highlighted and defined democracy. So we are not doing this because we think the system is perfect. No, we know the system is not perfect. We're not doing this because we trust all the politicians. That's not why we're doing it. We're not doing this because we believe that when we vote, this is the outcome we're going to see. We are not sure of the outcome. But what we are sure of is that there's a system that says when you go and register, yeah, you get a card. So there's an outcome. That outcome is sure. So that is the part we are going to go and engage in. That is the part we are going to engage in. So it's like an investor going to invest without the certainty of whether their investment will yield profit, right? Because when you go and invest in all of these shares and Nigeria is in this financial education wave, which I'm so proud of, where we're all learning about investment strategies, investing in different currencies and in different platforms that yield interest, growing our savings and all of these beautiful things that we are learning. But there's a lot of uncertainty as well, because these are companies we invest in, we don't all know how well they are going to do. We just assume that all things being equal, right? Everything will turn out right. When you start a business, you do the business plan. Go and ask business entrepreneurs, they'll tell you, we start a business, high hopes. At some point, the business doesn't work. There's a statistic that says that 50% of the businesses that start pack up in before 5 years. They shut down. Those that start. So is there a certainty? People get married without certainty. Who goes to a marriage, maybe one in, maybe two or five in 10,000? They are going to marry, and in the marriage, they're already saying, Omo, I'm just going to marry this thing for 2 months. I'm going to divorce. Nobody goes into their marriage expecting that the marriage will pack up. No, you are raising children. You are raising, especially in 2026, you are raising kids. You know that you are raising them in an uncertain environment, especially if you are a Nigerian. We act because some things are worth doing, regardless of whether we can predict that outcome or not. So, citizenship is one of those things. We cannot always predict the outcome of our citizenships, but what do? We participate. The countries that go to war, it was not like as if they just like, in 10 years before they were there are things that happen, lives. So to say that we're not going to participate because the outcome will be rigged, that is not us exercising our civic responsibility. And this moves me to my next point, the crisis of cynicism. The crisis of what? Cynicism. I talk about this me. That's all I ask of you. Flow with me and this cynicism marked by deep distrust of others' intentions. This now leads us to believe that human behaviors is driven primarily by self-interest, greed, and insincerity. So remember that what I'm talking about is what? The crisis of cynicism. And so just explained that cynicism is. And it is what? An attitude marked by deep distrust of others' intention. So when you don't trust the government, you don't trust INEC, you don't trust anybody, you don't even trust me that's even speaking to you. You're like, this woman, maybe she has, or I don't have any of that. I'm just a Nigerian that's passionate about Nigeria, that's going to do research. I'm coming here to share. For those that don't have the time to go and do the research, I've done the work. I'm just putting this in an audio and video format so that as you're going about your day and you want to be informed about how you can be a participatory citizen in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you can do that by the information I am sharing. Simple. So I do not say that all of my facts are 1000%. Feel free to go and fact check what I'm sharing. Right? Many of us as Nigerians, we are cynical. For being cynical. I dare say what the traumas of being in Nigeria is cynicism. If there's anything like the trauma of cynicism, yeah, Nigerians have that trauma. Why? People have, oh my God, we have seen broken promises. We have watched systems fail us. In the last election, do you know how many polling units didn't get their accreditation machine wouldn't come up? Nothing is uploading. See, we have watched leaders promise us and fail. We have seen corruption in different magnitudes. We have seen people struggle under economic pressure. People have become tired with bad news to the point that some people are desensitized, or say they're not sensitive to bad news. Yeah, that's the word. We have been accustomed to bad news. Now, it's not like bad news is just like every other news. And then when we now point where we are tired, cynicism has the voice. It will just come to our ears and be telling us things like, you're just wasting your time. Oh. Nothing will change. Just leave it. Everybody is the same. Why are you bothering yourself? It doesn't even matter. Just sitting and talking on this podcast, just stressing ourselves. So even as this of cynicism continues to go on in your mind, right? Be aware. Cynicism rarely builds any. It will not solve our problems. We have been in this cynicism cycle from time immemorial. Look at where we are now, right? Cynicism is not going to create the institutions we desire in the medical space, in the legal space, the manufacturing, electricity, power sector, oil and gas. Cynicism is not what's going to change it. Cynicism is not going to improve our community. It's not going to help with salaries for our civil workers, government workers. Instead, the thing that cynicism will do for us, it will cause us to withdraw. And when good people withdraw, when good people, dangerous thing, when you say the the electoral process is flawed, it said, so do we. In a way, creates a gap. Will never be empty. Something or someone will always fill it. So my question to us, who will fill that gap when responsible citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria refuse to play their role, their civic responsibility in going to get PVC and planning towards the election coming up next year? Next year, yes. Good people in Nigeria, what happens when good citizens stop participating? And these good citizens, let me just go there. Just imagine a community, right, where all the good people decide not to show up. Stop going to classrooms, stop doing what they need to do. Ethical professionals in the medical, civil service, legal space, all of the ethical professions, they stop engaging. And just imagine if every thoughtful citizen in Nigeria stops voting. Just let us just go wild in our imagination. Please just walk with me that all these people have explained, from teachers to parents, ethical professionals to leaders, all of participate. We don't. Who remains? What remains? Who influences decisions? Our public policies. Future of our dear nation, Nigeria. This answer concerns every one of us. It also ensures that that participation, it's informed. It also requires that that participation is responsible by people that just sit on the sidelines, spectators watching, praying for something, someone to come and save us when we have the power to save ourselves by going to cast our vote. A nation is built by participants, active participants, and participation is often inconvenient because if you're in a system like ours, so many roadblocks, it's participation. And also, participation also takes time. It takes time. Participation requires effort. Those people that are going to all these places to prepare, get their cards, it's time, resources, patience to wait long hours. And remember, if you remember the analogy I gave about how difficulty setting parenting, family life, and all of those things, this is the same. That participation takes time. It's the same thing. Family life takes time. Participation takes effort. Businesses take effort. It takes time. Participation requires patience. Yes, you need patience. In your family life, you need patience. So do you see that participation, to say that we're not going to get involved, it's not a wise thing to say. Voting is important. Is it enough? That is my next point of talk. Voting is important, but is voting alone enough? So why we want to be enthusiastic on election day, why we want to be active participants by going to do all the registration, the transfer, and all of the things, the capturing and everything, we must do other things to back this up. It's not easy to live to live a life and live in a country. You see, some of us were done a disservice while we were growing up. These things were not talked about in our families. Our families made politics look like a dirty thing. So we barely talked about it. So usually, if you grow up in certain kinds of families, you find out that politics was only spoken about when election was about to start, and then they would just be bastardizing different political parties and to just be chaotic. There, you rarely find families that had. I didn't say you will never. You rarely find families where the parents took time to educate their children on the need for active participation in their civic responsibilities, understanding the political climate, understanding how governance works, how public policies work. These were not conversations we had in our homes. So many of us, these are like alien things that we are getting to find out. Some of us are even participating due to peer pressure, online social media influence, etc. But as citizens of Nigeria, we must be informed. So as you are now getting your voters card, one of the things habits you now need to build with this card that you have now gone to get, right, is you have to stay informed. You have to listen to the news, no matter how terrible and biased and sad it may sound. Why? We need to stay informed and abreast of the happenings within our nation. Two, we need to understand public policies. Now, I know what I'm saying. You're not like, but you said we should just get the voters card. That's all that's important. Let's just get the card. You didn't talk about all this one in the beginning. I go lie for you. I go lie. I don't go tell you. I'm here to tell us the truth. So will I just tell us we're already in this country, we're already here? See, as much as like to tell us that this journey is going to be easy and smooth, it might not be easy and smooth. But if we do the work together, it will make it worthwhile. We need to understand public policy. We need to understand how the government works. If you can't do it by yourself, get a group of friends, get a group of family friends, classmates, colleagues. Please don't go into these conversations with I belong to this party, I belong to this party. That is not. Go with the mind of let us understand the way our country works in paper or on paper, based off of the news. Have conversations that will not get heated, objective conversations. Follow what elected leaders are doing. Let us not put our head in the clouds as though it doesn't matter. Let us ask questions. Try to find the town hall meetings that are organized in your area. If there are none, maybe you and your friends that live in the same area, you go to the same basketball place or soccer place, you guys can start forming those community meetings. Let us understand our rights. Some of these things we are going to be discussing it on this podcast. So this can be an addition to your process. Let us understand the responsibilities that each of government is given. You know, they taught us those things in primary school. Some of us have forgotten refresher course. Don't worry. For the Oaks of Africa podcast is here. I remind you, let us engage respectfully in public conversations, regardless of our political party. As I used to get very emotional and sentimental, but as I have grown and matured on this journey, I realized that regardless of the political party, usually people want good. It's just that some people have their hearts in a place. Right. So let's try to have respectful conversations. Voting is one day event. But you see, this our citizenship is a lifetime. You're a Nigerian from the day you were born till the day you go, or the day you decide to relinquish your citizenship. Because I've heard some Nigerians that they've relinquished it. If you only care, or if all of us only care about the election season, but we are not holding our local governments accountable. I saw the videos that have been going around. Some people have tried to hold their local government um, chairman, and some of the chairman and chairwomen are disappearing. You see why I told you that there's actually a change. Government is no more as usual. The local government chairmans that are doing well, everybody's clapping for them. People are engaging them. They are going and giving feedback. Everything is happening. But the ones that are also dodging, it's clear. If we only care about election season, that means our participation was just a one-time event. Oh yeah, let's just vote. We vote. We keep moving. We need to ensure that citizenship is a lifestyle for us as Nigerians. Remember what I said in the last podcast. Please, our hope is not in political parties. Neither is it in presidents. Neither is it in governors. We trust. Yes, we trust in Christ because He's the only one that can help us. Now that the whole thing is our faith holding us. It's our faith that's holding us. But as our faith is holding us, let us seek the welfare of our nation. Let us work together for the peace of our nation. I'm not saying that praying is not important. I'm saying that with our prayer, right? Let's back it works. What's our work? Let's go and do the voting. Let's do our civic responsibility. That's the work. Let's be informed. That's the work in this process. In this context. Right? Let us contribute. Let us serve our nation. Those that can. Right? As Christians, please, we are not to just withdraw and say this thing is not a good place. We're not going to be a part of it. We need to know that culture that has landed us where we are now. And majority of us are trying to unlearn that to become participants in our nation. Because we know that the government is not going to save all of us. But we are going to still be our brother's keeper, right? We're going to still be our brother's keeper. We are going to participate in the welfare of our communities because God delights in that. He will be proud of what we are doing. We will now be showing forth his love and his light. Now, let us return to that, or that original question we asked in the beginning. What the question behind the queue? Why are Nigerians queuing to vote? I believe strongly that this answer is bigger than politics. I believe that people are queuing up because hope is still alive. Hope is still alive. People are coming to the realization of, Omo, let me just, this is where, this is all I have. People are coming to the realization of, my voice matters. I know they've told me before that my voice does not matter, but it matters. People are starting to do research. People are starting to study. People are starting to wonder why we are not foolish now. Why are they treating us like this? People are queuing because they believe that their voices need to be heard, because Nigeria is still their home. People still believe that Nigeria is still worth investing in. That is what I want us to see those queues as. They are a representation of our hope. They are a representation of our unity. They are not blind optimism. They are not uncertainty or fear. No, it is that we believe that as we show up for this nation, things will change. Because from all that we are learning, we are seeing that participation is the foundation of a healthy democracy. So as we wrap up this evening, I want us to just remember that the future of Nigeria is not only determined by those that hold offices, it is also determined by those of us that participate, those that choose to learn, those that choose to engage respectfully, those that choose to contribute, those that choose to those that choose not to surrender to political apathy, those that choose to stand in the sun in uncomfortable places to ensure that their voters' registration is done. The queue is about our citizenship. It is about us not being spectators sitting on the sidelines and watching from outside. At the at this podcast, our goal is that as you stay informed, together we will build a stronger nation. Thank you for joining me. Please, if this episode was good, like you enjoyed all of the things we shared, please, I would appreciate if you can share this podcast with a friend, a colleague, a student, a family member, someone that's still on the fence on whether they should go in or not, whether they should vote or not. Let us continue to build our nation. Until next time, please keep learning, keep questioning, keep engaging respectfully, and keep building. Remember, this is for the Oaks of Africa podcast, Civic Intelligence for Nation Builders, where we speak to the conscience of the people. It has been a delight to bring you today's session. Thank you so, so much for being a part of this. And we look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Bye for now. Thank you.